When I imagined old asylums and the people within their walls, I imagined people with bulging eyes, tied up in straitjackets, constantly screaming in agony. I now know that asylums in the 19th century were about more than chaos. They actually had a strong emphasis on order. Psychiatrists like Philippe Pinel promoted what was called the moral treatment approach to psychiatric practice. The moral management entailed returning individuals to a right and orderly state of mind through treating the mentally ill kindly and enforcing routine in their eating habits, sleeping habits, and daily activities. It was designed to replace brutal 17th century practices where the insane were subjected to physical restraint, punishment, and confinement in jailhouses, as well as exorcisms by priests. The moral management was based on the idea that the insanity had natural as opposed to supernatural origins, so it could be cured. Psychiatrists thought that cures came from the architectural design of facilities and by regulating every aspect of patients' lives. Regulating patient schedules was another major component of the moral treatment. Inside the walls of the asylum, patients' meals, labor, sleeping, and activities were routinized. Psychiatrists thought that regulating behavior would in turn regulate and restore the minds of patients. The moral treatment was also highly gendered. Broader cultural ideas about acceptable behavior for women led doctors to believe certain activities would cure women's insanity. Discussing white Victorian women's experiences in asylums, Elaine Showalter states, "The ladylike values of silence, decorum, taste, service, piety, and gratitude were made an integral part of the program of moral management of women in Victorian asylums." For white Victorian women, this meant that they were subjected to participating in activities such as laundry, sewing, and cooking. Women were also not allowed to spend much time outside or allowed to socialize with one another. Some women did not respond well to these impositions. Explaining why women in asylums resisted, Elaine Showalter argues that excessive confinement that replicated the feminine role outside the asylum may have contributed to the excitability and restlessness of asylum women, thus proving that the strict regulation of patients' lives did not actually lead to curing them, and may have done the opposite. As someone who wants to go into the mental health field, I found the history of psychiatry to be surprising and eye-opening. Understanding what asylums were like in the past has made me question the idea that order is synonymous with healing. With this knowledge, I hope to think carefully about the limitations of creating highly regimented healing environments and question the role culture plays in how we treat mental illness.